You've heard, what the big sales gurus say, hustle harder, go faster, work longer, do more. But we're not telling you to do that. And you're not going to ever hear that here. What we want to encourage you to do is to be authentically your own self, your own brand, your own voice online, and grow your community, be a part of community, and leave the rest of it to God.
Welcome to Authentic Online Marketing with Ruthie Gray. Growing awareness for your blog, podcast, book, or product involves more than dancing to reels and yelling, "Buy my thing." This show models quality over clamor so you can put your spin on your message and market in a way that feels authentic to you, because nobody wants to sound like an infomercial. And now, here's your host, Ruthie Gray.
Hey, y'all, and welcome back to the show. I want to remind you that we are having a growth challenge soon. So get in my Facebook group. It's free, Authentic Instagram Engagement, and get on our email list. We will put information in the show notes, but this will happen if you're listening in early January. This will be happening mid to late January. So just get ready, because I know that you're going to benefit from this challenge. You're going to learn some things that we're seeing help right now to generate and grow traffic and grow authentic followers. Now, for today's show, Hayley is joining me. Welcome, Hayley.
Woohoo. Thanks for having me back on the show.
Anytime, girl. Glad you're here. So we're going to have a conversation. Let's start kind of where we left off, Hayley, last time in the 2022 predictions about using the app and needing to be seemingly on it more and more to get your content seen.
Yeah. So basically, we know that Instagram kind of rewards you for being on the app. The more you use it, basically. And it's going to become more saturated. Basically, we're going to see more people joining next year. And in some ways, that's an exciting thing, because there are a lot of people realizing that they can work from home and they can try to accomplish their business dreams. And they're going to be trying to utilize Instagram to make that happen. That's going to be part of Instagram becoming more saturated, is there will be people joining with the purpose of promoting their small business. And for a small business owner, this is a good thing, and also maybe a little bit of a tricky thing, because you may get new potential clients, or you might have a new potential peer. But that means also your competition is probably going to grow too.
Right. And so it's good. And yet I know that the listeners of this podcast and our followers are very concerned with life balance and being in the present for their people and making the most of our one precious life that we have. So we want to figure out how to do this well. Let's talk, though, first about a couple more things here that you're seeing happen, Hayley.
Sure. So we may also see, as we are going to see a lot of people joining, as is kind of the usual for Instagram, but we are probably going to see more people leave as well. And this is honestly because Instagram it is going to be kind of a little bit more saturated and a little bit more busy. And I think with video taking over on most social media platforms, not just Instagram, but most of them, it does make it a little bit trickier to intentionally disengage from the app when you want to. So I think some people are going to feel tired of that and maybe a little bit drained by social media, and they might just leave.
And I always tell my followers to be sure to just work on building one solid platform before you jump to another. And that's why I say spend time on the app. But there's another side of that, and that is you can't put all of your eggs in one basket. And so you do need to make sure that you are elsewhere besides Instagram, especially your newsletter. for me, Instagram and newsletter are my top two priorities. Newsletter actually is even more of a priority for me. It is the top one, because if you can get people on your newsletter, then you can reach them anytime. And you can't necessarily, not everyone's going to see your posts on Instagram. So there's that. But there's another suggestion, and that is it's easy to go ahead and have your posts shared to Facebook when you are posting on Instagram. So at least you are kind of doing double duty there. You can even go into the Facebook scheduler and schedule for both of those right there. So that's one thing. Another suggestion I have is Pinterest. If you can get that started a little bit and running, there are any number of people who will run the account for you, or even hire your daughter to run your account. So that is another suggestion for that. But what else are we seeing, Hayley?
So those are good points. I think you're going to have to post a lot to be seen on Instagram. We're kind of already seeing this a lot. Instagram becoming a little bit more busy. And as we discussed a little bit ago, the more you post and the more you interact, the more you use the app, that's going to encourage Instagram to kind of, propel you into the algorithm a little bit, because they're rewarding you for using the app. So you are probably going to have to plan on posting more to be seen. You're really just going to have to be prepared and have a plan so that you can stay on top of posting, and so that you don't lose your mind having to figure out when are you going to make time for all these posts and for being super engaged with Instagram if you're a busy person.
But as we talk about boundaries and balance, we have a couple of solutions for you. And the first one is this: schedule your content. Make sure that you're using like a Facebook scheduler or later.com, Planoly. There are all kinds of schedulers out there that you can use. Just use one. There are free versions of everything. So get your content scheduled. And don't plan on being on the app all the time. Yes, the more you post, the more your content will probably be seen, but you have to make it doable, something that fits with your work lifestyle and your home. So schedule your content. And then here's the thing about your content: base it on the big picture. What are your goals? Have you sat down and reviewed when your launches are in 2022? Plan around that content, plan around your affiliate sales, plan around corporate sales, plan around your freebie if you're launching something like that, and then use that content and repurpose it. Use it in your newsletter and repurpose it onto Instagram. Don't reinvent the wheel. Use what you already have. Then another one that we're seeing is take a break. Hayley, you want to speak to that for just a minute?
Yeah. So some social media apps have options for you to kind of limit your screen time. The iPhone has screen time app limits. So you could try using those to just help you create better boundaries on social media and to be accountable. Or if you are the type of person that works better by having a person to be accountable to, then that is a great option too, I think.
Yes, either your spouse or a coworker, cohort, colleague, someone else that kind of has the same values as you. This is something that our next suggestion can really help with, and that is have a community. You need a community and a network in order to expound your reach. You just really have to have that. That's something that we have noticed with our own community. They get better engagement inside our mentorship. And we are working to offer more tangible resources for people that aren't in our community that can, build more of a community. And so one of the ways that we are doing that is through our free growth challenge. So make sure you get on the list there. We have some great things planned for that. But if you can work together, go live together, share each other's posts, it will really serve you well. So this way, really, you double and triple your efforts on Instagram instead of having to do it all yourself. Right, Hayley?
Yeah, definitely. So It is really important to have a community, because a lot of small business owners and people who are working from home and using Instagram to promote their business, a lot of times those people have kids, they have families, or even if it's just a single person, they have lives. And these people want to be able to work on their small business and not have to just be on Instagram all the time. So if you have a community that has your back on Instagram, that can help you make sure that your posts are getting seen, they're getting shared, your people are engaging with your posts and helping you out a little bit when you might have a lot on your plate and can't just afford to be constantly posting and trying to get yourself to show up in the algorithm. And you can help other people that way too.
Absolutely. So our motto is always to be authentic online, as you know. And one of the ways that you can do that is through developing community and also through developing your real life. And we know that if you're listening to this right now, you've heard, what the big sales gurus say, hustle harder, go faster, work longer, do more. But we're not telling you to do that. And you're not going to ever hear that here. What we want to encourage you to do is to be authentically your own self, your own brand, your own voice online, and grow your community, be a part of community, and leave the rest of it to God, because He is the author and finisher of not only our faith, but our lives and our businesses. And ultimately, we want to put that in His hands and seek His guidance. We have a direct line into the Lord anyway. So let's do that. Let's develop some community and some balance with social media. Thanks so much for joining us today. Like I said, one other way you can join community is by joining our free Facebook group, joining our growth challenge that's coming up, and just seek to be a part, engage, and you will be the better for it. Thanks for showing up today and listening to us. Thanks, Hayley, for dropping in and giving us such great tips.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. That was so fun.